So today we will start the chapter circulation and circulatory fluids. So for that we need to know what is circulation. It is the process by which the movement of nutrients, oxygen, hormones, enzymes, minerals, carbon dioxide and other toxic excretory substances takes place through the liquid medium of the living body is called circulation. So actually circulation means the movement of all the substances throughout our body. So it helps in the movement of nutrients, hormones, enzymes, minerals, gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide and other excretory substances are also there which moves around our body system through which medium? Through the liquid medium. So this is known as circulation. Now what are the medium of circulation? We have seen that it is a liquid medium. Now the three are the major medium of circulation. All these are liquid in medium. Water, blood and lymph are the three major medium of circulation. Water is the medium of circulation especially in lower animals like hydra, starfish, etc. Blood and lymph are the medium of circulation for higher animals and also in case of humans. In humans also blood and lymph both acts as the medium of circulation, not only blood. Okay, as you know that blood always flow in a closed path. So it have no direct contact with the tissues. So who provides the nutrients to the tissue cells? Limbs. Okay. So in human body also both acts as the medium of circulation. Now blood is a liquid connective tissue as it connects all the parts of our body. So it is a connective tissue of the animal body and forms the medium of circulation in vertebrates especially and in few invertebrate animals. And lymph is a modified tissue fluid formed from blood and acts as an extra medium through which various substances are transported in the animal body. Clear? Now we will move on to each of the circulating fluid. First, blood. What is blood? Blood is the opaque, slightly alkaline, reddish colored, salty taste, viscous fluid connective tissue. Yes, it is a fluid connective tissue. It is viscous in nature, a little sticky in nature. It is opaque. It is reddish in color. Why? Because of the presence of iron or the respiratory pigment. And it is slightly alkaline and salty in taste. So, the color of the human blood is red as it is due to the presence of the respiratory pigment called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is an iron containing pigment and it contains heme. We will study in detail afterwards. See, in this chapter only. So, you will get to know hemoglobin. So, it is reddish in color. Now, the components of the blood. What are the blood components? The two major are the blood components. Plasma, which constitute of 55%, and blood corpuscles, which constitute 45%. So these two are the major components of blood. What is plasma? Plasma is a pale yellowish color, fiberless, intercellular alkaline fluid in which the blood cells remain suspended. See, it is just like a cytoplasm. See, the blood flows in the blood vessels. So this is a blood vessels. These are RBCs. So these are the blood cells, right? So the blood cells remain suspended in the plasma. Plasma is just like cytoplasm. See, in the plasma, the other blood cells remain suspended. Clear? So it constitutes mainly of water, solid and gases. Water is the main constituent, maximum percent of water, solid and gases in dissolved form. In dissolved form, oxygen and carbon dioxide are present in plasma. Its fluidity is more, so water is more than solid. Solid only 8%, and solid constitutes of inorganic substances and organic substances. Inorganic substances like sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, copper, chlorine, and phosphates, hydrocarbons, all these constitute the inorganic substances. And organic substances contains all these things. Carbohydrate in the form of glucose, carbohydrate mainly glucose is present in plasma. Proteins mainly albumin, globulin, fibrinogen, prothrombin. Fats like neutral fat, cholesterol, phospholipids, NPN or non-protein nitrogenous substances like urea, uric acid, pigments, creatinine and creatinine. All this contains and others constitute of hormones, enzymes. Along with these two, many bilirubin, antibodies and waste products are also present in plasma. These are the main constituents. So what is the function of plasma? So it helps in blood clotting. How? See, due to the presence of these two. See, the fibrinogen and prothrombin are the two proteins which help in the blood clotting. Okay, that mechanism we will see in the blood clotting. The next function of plasma, you can say, the liquid part of the plasma helps in the transport of various substances of the blood. Next, you can say that it acts as a protein reservoir. See, many kinds of proteins and important proteins are present. It also maintains the acid-base balance of the blood. Next function of plasma, you can say that circulating plasma helps to regulate the body temperature, and it also takes part in the transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide. So, these are the few major functions of plasma. It helps in blood clotting is the major. It acts as the protein reservoir, I repeat, and it also the liquid part of the plasma helps in the transport of various substances of blood even. Okay? Next, going to the blood corpuscles. What are the blood corpuscles? They constitute of platelets, red blood corpuscle and white blood corpuscles. See here. Platelets, see, red blood corpuscles and white blood corpuscles. See, the composition of blood contains maximum plasma, 55%. And out of the 45%, 41 is RBC. After plasma, next come RBC, which are numerous in number. And then it 4% only platelets and white blood cells. Okay. So these three are the blood corpuscles. Now, see, white blood cells can again be divided into granulocyte and agranulocyte. Why granulocyte? Presence of granules. Agranulocyte, no granules. See, basophil, neutrophil, eosinophil. And here monocyte, lymphocyte. See the picture. See, basophil, eosinophil, neutrophil. These are granulated. And these two are agranulated. Monocyte and lymphocytes. See, the cytoplasm contains granules. You can see, so granulated. And here see, plain. No granules are present. So agranulated. Clear from the name? Why granulated and agranulated? So these are the types of white blood cells. See, this is a 4-cell structure. This is 2-cell structure. This is also 2-cell structure. This is a little elongated one. Monocytes are heart-shaped and lymphocyte spherical shaped. Fine. Now we'll move on to the functions of different blood corpuscles. Platelets. It helps in the coagulation of blood. It secretes serotonin, which constricts blood vessels during blood clotting. When when any part of our body get wounded or get cut, so the blood vessel gets ruptured, and from there the blood oozes out, right? Blood comes out. So that blood need to be constrict for the blood to become clot. So it secretes serotonin, which constricts blood vessels during blood clotting. And what do it do? Repairs damaged endothelium of blood vessels. Fine. So RBCs are the next. It helps in oxygen carbon dioxide transport. Hemoglobin of RBC maintains the acid-base balance of our body, and it also maintains the viscosity of our body. Clear? Now WBC or white blood corpuscles or white blood cells, this helps, see, eosinophil have anti-allergic condition, basophil have anticoagulant. See, eosinophil defends against anti-allergic condition. It's anti-allergic action and it secretes histamine. Basophil helps in blood clotting. See, it produces heparin, which is an anticoagulant which prevents blood clotting within the vessel. Okay, it helps to prevent blood clot within the vessels. If inside the vessel blood gets clot, then what will happen? The blood circulation will stop, right? So when you get the vessel ruptured and the blood gets oozes out, that time that vessel need to be constrict. But otherwise the inner parts of the vessels, if it constrict here and there, then blood will get clot and the person will die. So this anticoagulant helps to prevent the clotting within the vessel. And see, neutrophil and monocyte lymphocyte, all these three have defensive measures. See how neutrophil protects the body against invasion of germs and bacteria by phagocytosis, by the process phagocytosis. This process we will study in detail in immunity chapter. Now monocyte and lymphocyte, what are the functions? It provides defense mechanism against germs, and lymphocyte also kills germs by antibody formation. One thing I missed out, see, I missed out what are the characteristic features of the cells. See, the RBCs are, what are RBCs or the red blood cells of all the mammals, including the humans, are non-nucleated. They are non-nucleated and shaped, they are biconcave, they are circular disc-shaped reddish-colored blood cells. They are reddish-colored blood cells, circular to disc-shaped, and they are non-nucleated. They are mainly non-nucleated in case of mammals and in case of humans. But all other vertebrates except mammals, for them the RBC are nucleated and oval in shape. Okay. Now platelets. See, these are the platelets. The platelets are small, colorless and non-nucleated oval disc-shaped cytoplasmic fragments found in the circulating mammalian blood. So these are colorless. These are also non-nucleated and they are the cytoplasmic fragments found in the blood. Now what is white blood cells? White blood cells are the larger cells. See, you can see these are the larger cells, larger than platelets, obviously larger than RBC also. So these are the larger cells, and they are different in shape. As you can see, these are different in shape. And what happens? These are colorless cells, and they are nucleated. These are nucleated and colorless cells. See, RBCs are non-nucleated. This is also non-nucleated, but white blood cells are nucleated. Clear? Now function is also clear. They all defense and function is clear. Now function of blood. We'll move on to the function of blood. It helps in the transportation of food, vitamin, minerals, oxygen, carbon dioxide, hormones, etc. and drainage of metabolic waste products. How? See, transportation of food. Digested food, then vitamins and water are transported from the alimentary canal to different parts of the body. Then transportation of vitamins. Vitamins are transported by plasma of the blood to the different parts of the body. Then transportation of minerals. Blood transports various minerals from one part of the body to the region of the activations. Then transportation of oxygen. Blood carries oxygen mainly by the hemoglobin of RBC as oxyhemoglobin. So oxygen transportation is the main purpose, and the blood carries oxygen mainly by the presence of hemoglobin of the RBC as oxyhemoglobin. Okay. Then transportation of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide produced in the tissue of the blood is being carried by the blood as bicarbonate as well as carbonyl compounds. Clear? Now transportation of hormones. Blood carries hormones from the endocrine glands to the target organs of their effects. Right? Now drainage of metabolic waste. Yes, blood carries out the metabolic waste like urea, uric acid, hippuric acid, etc. to the excretory organ, that is kidney. From all the parts of the body, it carries away to the kidney for excretion. So these are the main functions of blood. Now we will do another circulatory fluid, that is lymph. The alkaline, clear, pale yellow colored, watery, modified tissue fluid found in the lymphatic vessel and lymph glands. Lymph is a modified tissue. We have learned it is a special type of modified tissue formed from the blood. See the recapitulation once. See. It is a modified tissue fluid formed from the blood and acts as extra medium, okay, for the transportation. Modified tissue. So, it is a pale yellowish color, modified tissue, watery modified tissue fluid, where it is found especially in the lymphatic vessels and lymph glands or lymph nodes. Composition, see, it contains 94% of water and 6% of solid substances. The solid substances includes both, that is both organic as well as inorganic substances. Organic substances like protein, carbohydrate, fat, non-protein, nitrogenous substances are present along with some inorganic compounds also. And the total amount of the lymph in man is 1 to 2 liters. What is the function, main function of lymph? It acts as transport medium, obviously. It helps in the transport of fatty materials. See, it acts as the transport. Lymph acts as the nutrients and lymph transports nutrients and oxygen and supply them to the tissue cells where blood cannot reach directly. I have said that blood cannot reach the tissue cells as it flows only within the enclosed system. So, what happens? Lymph takes the nutrients and oxygen and supply them to the tissue cells where blood cannot reach directly. Transport of fatty materials like lymph absorbs the fat from the intestine and distribute to the rest of the body. And it also acts as defensive function because in the lymph, the granulated cells like monocytes and lymphocytes are present. Okay, which helps the body to protect against germs through by their phagocytic properties. So clear? So, what are the differences? What can be the differences of blood and lymph? From here, we can draw that blood is red in color, lymph is straw colored or pale yellowish color. Blood flows through the blood vessels and lymph circulates through the lymphatic vessels. Then presence in blood, there are presence of all the 5 types of WBCs. But in lymph, only monocyte and lymphocyte, that is only the agranulated ones are present. Blood has no direct contact with tissues, but lymph has direct contact with tissues. So now respiratory pigments. See, what are the respiratory pigments? Those pigments which are present in the in the red blood cells or in the plasma, helping in gaseous transport between respiratory organs and the tissue cells, are called respiratory pigments. They help in the transport of gases between the respiratory organs and the tissue cells. See, hemoglobin is one of the respiratory pigment, another is hemocyanin. So, hemoglobin is present in the blood, as we have learned. Hemoglobin is an iron containing red blood pigment and it consists of heme and globin. Heme 4%, globin 96%. Presence of heme, that is the helps it to be red in color, iron containing one. See, simultaneously see this also, so you can draw the difference from here also. See, hemocyanin is a copper containing blood pigment, and as you can see, iron means red, copper is bluish. So remains colorless but turns light bluish color in contact with oxygen. Hemoglobin is especially found in the vertebrates, cells of vertebrates, and in plasma of earthworm. But hemocyanins are found in invertebrates. They are found in the plasma of prawns, crabs, and few other invertebrates. Clear? The difference is also clear? Okay. Now moving on to the blood groups. See, there is blood group A, B, AB and O. In human, there are 4 types of blood group and this together constitutes the name ABO group. Okay. Now what are the difference of this 4 group? The presence of antigen and antibody makes the group different. See, group A and group B. Group A have antigen A. Group B have antigen B. But in case of antibody, it is reverse. So easy to remember. The blood group A contains antigen A and antibody B. Blood group B contains antigen B but antibody A. The reverse. See, in blood group AB, only both of the antigens both A and B antigens are present, but no antibody is found. In blood group O, both the antibody A and B are found, but no antigens. Again, it is very much easy to remember. O, antibody, both kind of antibody, and AB, both kind of antigen. So blood groups are especially important. Why? Because determination of blood group is necessary for blood transfusion. And in case of blood transfusion, the compatibility should also match. Why? Because you know that the people or the ones who give the blood are called the donor, and the ones who accept it are the recipient. So what is actually matched for blood transfusion, or to see the compatibility, the antigen and antibody matching is done. Whose antigen and whose antibody? The donor, the antigen of the donor is being matched with the antibody of the recipient. Why? Because you know that antigen will react with the antibody. Antigens, see, always antigens reacts with the antibody. So the donor's antigen will always be matched with the antibody of the recipient. Clear? Okay. See, the negative ones are not required for the syllabus. Only the positive one, A, B, O and AB. See, A can give to both A and AB and can receive from only A and O. See this clearly. It can give to A and AB, receive from A and O. So A can give to A can receive from A. It can give to AB and it can receive from O. Blood group B can give to B, receive from B. It can donate to AB and can receive from O. Blood group O can give to anyone but can receive only from O. And blood group AB can give only to AB and can receive from everyone. So what do can conclude from here? That blood group AB is a universal receiver and O is the universal donor. Is this clear? I think it is clear. It is mentioned clear. Now, blood coagulation, or what is the blood clotting mechanism? The process by which blood oozes out from the ruptured blood vessels, loses its fluidity in a few minutes, and sets into a semi-solid like mass is called coagulation. So, the process in which when the blood vessel ruptures and blood continuously oozes out, you will not see that blood continues to flow from the wound portion of your body for a long time. After few minutes, it automatically stops. So our internal body system uh, has the capability of clotting the blood, right? So after few minutes, it sets into a semi-solid jelly-like mass. So process of blood coagulation. In normal process, no clot occurs. Platelets, along with that, see thromboplastin and fibrinogen. Remembered, present. These are the two proteins present in the plasma of our body. So all these three are normal circulating. So no clot occurs. But after shedding of blood, what happens? After shedding of blood, the starts shedding from the damaged tissue or broken platelets. These broken platelets or damaged tissue, with the help of the calcium of our body, forms a substance called thromboplastin. This thromboplastin reacts with the protein prothrombin to produce a new substance, thrombin. Now this thrombin again in return reacts with the another protein found in the plasma, that is fibrinogen, and gets converted into non-proteinaceous fibrin fibers and ultimately the clot occurs. These fibers entangled the RBCs within it, and the clot occurs. Now, how do the clot occurs? You watch a video after this, it will give you the more clear idea of how blood coagulation in human takes place. Thank you.
Blood clotting. If we are careless while using a knife, we might cut our finger. A zoomed-in view of the damaged area shows that the knife ruptures a blood vessel. This causes immense loss of blood. Inside the artery, we observe the RBCs and platelets, which escape out through the damaged area. The platelets play a very important role in the initiation of blood clotting. The blood platelets release a substance called thromboplastin. In the presence of thromboplastin and calcium ions, the prothrombin present in the blood gets converted into thrombin. This thrombin now catalyzes the conversion of fibrinogen into fibrin. These fibrin travel towards the damaged area. Here, this thread-like fibrin forms a mesh. The RBCs get caught and remain entangled. These RBCs and fibrin threads together form the blood clot. This clot manages to plug the gap in the ruptured artery and thus prevents further blood loss.